So far, we have discussed what is a target market, what is target marketing, why we need this concept of target market and target marketing. And in this video, we'll take a look at how we can define a target market. How does a company go about selecting a target market and defining it? Now, in order to define a target market properly, you have to consider certain criteria. You have to consider size, what is the potential for growth. You have to take into consideration whether the market is accessible to you, whether there is already a lot of competition in the market, whether you have the resources to compete in that market, and whether the market and its profile, its characteristics, what it offers you is in alignment with the mission and objectives of your company. Now, broadly, those are the factors that you have to take into consideration. And let's talk a little bit about size of target market. Now, this certainly does not mean that you need to always have a market which is very large. A small market may also be profitable to you if your product is of high value, each unit is of high value. So if you are a diamond merchant, the number of people who purchase diamonds from you may be few, but each unit that you sell is of a phenomenally high value, and therefore a large market need not always be a profitable market. But if, say, you're marketing biscuits, then if you take the case of Parle G, the size of the market for Parle G biscuits is huge. It is a phenomenal market. Why? Because the item is of such a price that everyone can afford it. It is affordable for many people in the market in which it is operating. So, in the context of size of market, you are to consider how many people are in it and what is the revenue that you are going to earn. These two factors have to be taken into consideration. So few people, high unit value may mean a lot of revenue, and that market may be a viable target market size for you. The next thing that you need to look at is what is the potential for growth? What sort of a potential does this market offer you? So when you take a company like Tanishq, which got into the jewelry business in India, which was traditionally dominated by family jewelers, that company saw the potential for growth in the branded jewelry segment. And today we find there are so many players in the branded jewelry segment. In fact, even family jewelers, local jewelers, like for instance in Pune, PN Gadgil, PNG, they have gone in for branding. They have gone in for multiple locations. They are located in USA also. So this is what you need to consider, is that what sort of a potential do you see in a market, and you can become, say, a pioneer also. Once you get into that market, if you have the resources, like Tanishq being a Tata company, it had the resources whereby it had potential for growth in a market which was previously, it had no scope or very little scope for branded players. So you need to consider this. What is the estimated growth? That is, right now, if many people are not buying it, who are the people who will prefer to buy it? Sometimes the potential for growth happens due to some unprecedented circumstances, like e-learning has grown a lot during the pandemic. It also video conferencing platforms like Zoom, like Google Meet, like Microsoft Teams, all these have facilitated collaborative working during the coronavirus crisis, where people were compelled to work from home. So the potential for growth was unforeseen. Sometimes these kind of things can also happen, but if you consider such factors, that okay, there may be a time where companies may prefer people to work from home, then what sort of services would be needed. So all of us are consuming a phenomenal amount of content, internet, ever since the lockdown took place. So sometimes potential for growth occurs due to some factors which we cannot even foresee, which we may not have even imagined. How accessible is your market? Are you able to reach it with ease or at an economical cost? This is an important factor. So, sitting in Pune, you might want to sell to the US, you might want to sell to the Middle East, but whether those markets are accessible to you or not, that has to be taken into consideration by you. Now, Hindustan Unilever, they were masters at rural marketing. So they introduced the concept of mobile vans, which went from one village to another, and made inroads into the rural hinterland, which was until then considered difficult to reach. So today you can say banking is accessible to us at the tip of our fingers with some apps which we have. A net banking app, we have mobile wallets. So the simple thing is, you go to your app store and you download it. So how accessible are you? How can you reach your target market? That is what you need to take into consideration. You see lots of people using social media platforms like Facebook pages, WhatsApp groups. All these are being used by marketers how to reach their customers, because it's the easiest and quickest way to reach people. A lot of people spend their time on social media, and that is why it makes sense for a business to have social media handles and pages. So this is an important factor. How accessible are you? This is why companies have websites also now. What sort of competition exists in a market where you want to operate? You need to take that into consideration. So today, if you think of launching a fresh fruit juice brand, you know that you have a lot of competition. You could be competing with a company like Parle Agro, which has pumped hundreds of crores into marketing, which has celebrity endorsers, and which is running campaigns across various media vehicles. So you need to consider, if there's a lot of competition, it will become difficult for you to capture the interest of the customer. The customer will have too many choices, and you will have to work really hard to grab his or her attention. You'll need to be a very smart marketer to compete in a very competitive market. Now, where competition is less or it is non-existent, you may have the first mover advantage, or you may be the only brand and the customer does not have a choice. So it's like when you are buying LPGs in India, you have the option of HP gas, Bharat gas, and now we have gas supply lines which are coming to our homes, and then we may not need to buy our cylinders. We can buy gas just like we buy electricity. So what sort of competition is there? So if a company like Vespa came to India, it had to contend with a lot of local two-wheelers and brands which are already well established in the country for years together. So it would have to contend with those kind of things. That's what we mean by competition in the target market. Do you have the resources to compete in the target market? Like I mentioned, that Parle Agro in 2019, their marketing budget was somewhere around 200 crores. They spent that much amount of money so that they could really build a very strong brand. They have been investing in a lot of rebranding initiatives. They have opted for changes in packaging. They have also marketed through television campaigns, through digital media, so on and so forth. So if you are a company which is trying to enter into such a market or a similar market, you need to consider whether you have the resources to compete with a very big brand such as this. So you need to think about this. Do you have the people? Do you have the technology? Do you have the finance? Do you have the right kind of connections in order to be able to compete with somebody who's already well established and who is a strong competitor? Finally, what you need to understand is your target market profile aligned with your mission? So there's this company called Nutty Yogi, which is in the health food business. So they are more on for people who are wanting a healthy lifestyle. They market ancient grains. You will have or pickles without oil, and the most natural and freshest ingredients. Now, the target market for such a company would be people who want this kind of lifestyle, who want to eat fresh, and who want to follow maybe a vegan lifestyle, a gluten free lifestyle, or dairy free lifestyle. So is your target market aligned with your mission? Or if you are a halal cosmetics company, or a halal food company, or a kosher food company, then obviously your target market would be people who identify with that particular school of thought and who would want those products or services which you are marketing. So you need to seek that alignment with your market. So I hope this video helped to clarify how exactly you can define a target market, and I hope you found this video informative. If you like the content in this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to share this video with any other students who you feel might benefit from the content in this video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you find the content here useful. This is Dr. Mariam Narona, and in the next video I will be talking about types of markets.